And so today, welcome to another episode of the Career Support Network. My number one goal is to inspire and to help as many people as I possibly can to live the life and a career of their dreams. And I have some amazing people in my network that I wanted to bring on the show with me. And today I have with me Dorinda Barker. And Dorinda is going to tell you all about her business and how she got started and how you could possibly start a business and what she does. And so I'll give you the floor.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm so excited to be here, by the way, and thank you for asking me to be part of your podcast. I think it's great. So once again, I'm Dorinda Barker, and I have a company called NXTConnection. So it's NXTConnection. And what I do is I'm an online dating coach and a profile expert. So I enhance people's dating profiles. So I can do the whole profile for you if you like. And I help you with your pics and your pictures, your bios, your prompts, messaging. I can even help you with messaging because I feel like people falter there a lot. I mean, people falter all over. I don't know if you've ever been on any dating sites or apps. Have you, Amanda?
I have. I've been on quite a few yet.
Yeah. And, people need help. And I mean it in a nice way. I don't mean it to tear them down, but you know what? You could get so many more quality matches if you had someone like me in your corner helping you out. Because sometimes what you think is a great representation of you, well, actually a good representation of you, really is not.
Yeah.
So I know that you will probably like that picture of you and all your friends together, but a prospective dater on the other looking at this is going to be like, well, who is the person? Where are they? How can I know which is that? I mean, a little story about me is I actually put a picture of my best friend and I up once. Like, this is going back. This is how I learned this lesson, by the way. This is going back about 7 years ago. I put a picture of my best friend and I up and matched with this guy. And the guy was like, who's the girl next to you? And can you get me in touch with her?
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm like, but you matched with me.
Right.
I mean, I understand that. No, I don't understand it. You shouldn't have done that in the first place. But here's the thing. I mean, it should always be about you and not everyone else around you. So, yeah. So, I mean, I started helping my friends with their profiles. And when I was finished with them, and in the beginning, it was just pictures and little blurbs in their bio, within 24 hours, they were getting better matches, better conversations, dates, you name it, because of what I had done, because I saw them in their light that they didn't even know. Because we as people, I feel that sometimes we don't see ourselves as other people see us.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think a lot of times people see us so much better than we see our own selves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And that's how it became a business, because it was my friends who were like, this is a business. And I don't know anyone else who's doing it. I think now there are people doing it, but I love it too. I just love helping people. And I feel like I'm a little matchmaker, even though I'm not a matchmaker. Though I try sometimes. I've hooked a couple people up, and I think 2 of them are getting married, but that's just a random thing. So, but yeah, that's where this is all stemmed from, is just enhancing people on their dating profiles. And it's turned into also me walking them through, navigating them through etiquette. There is etiquette on dating profiles, and their confidence. It's self-confidence. How many times have you probably heard from friends, or have you thought, because I've thought this too, is, oh, this isn't working for me. Nobody's out there. Everybody. But what it is because you might not have, I'm not saying you per se, but you as a proverbial you, had not put your best foot out there and let people really see you. So yeah, I mean, I'm passionate. I can talk all day about what I do. So
What would you say are some of the things that they should do if they're not getting the right connections that they want on their
Um,
profiles?
really look at I would look at their photos first. Maybe it's just, I mean, even you can do it on, the iPhone and Samsung's, God forbid I say Android, but on your phones now, look at your pictures. And if like something's like a dark picture, but it's like a good picture of you, it's very easy to lighten the picture up. But it's really the best, putting the best representation of you out there. So just look at your pics. If you need a little Photoshop, and I'm not saying put a whole new face on you, or just a little light here, maybe a little coloring here, that's totally fine. And then also, when your bios, put something in there, and I say this all the time, put something in there that people are going to ask a question on.
Hmm.
I get it that you love to travel. That's
That's a good
awesome.
idea.
Yeah, it's put something in there so then you give someone that chance to ask you a question.
Right.
Even if you put your likes in there, someone reads the bio and sees, oh, you have a mutual like, they can then say, hey, I like, let's say, I'll just put X-Men out there. I don't know why it came to me, but it did. And say, oh, who is like, I love X-Men too. Rogue was my favorite character. Who's yours? And it just starts the back and forth that happens. I mean, just recently, because I'm not only the president, I'm also a client. So I'm on the apps. And I just recently matched with a guy who put in his bio um, the lyrics for Opposites Attract by Paula Abdul.
Hmm.
And so then I replied back with another lyric with something about myself, and it became a thing. And it was so much fun because online dating should be fun. It should not be stressful. It should not be any of those things. And I try to tell people that all the time. Take that out of the way because it's a tool just like anything else.
Hmm.
And no one's saying that you have to meet your forever on a dating app, but it actually expands. It expands for you to meet your forever,
Yeah,
and you're not
yeah.
just segregated to one. And I mean, 17%, and I'm sure that's going to go up in the next year or two because of what is happening now, of marriages come out of online dating. And that's a pretty decent, percentage right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, especially right now with COVID and the pandemic and things like that, online dating has really spiked. And I know there's a lot of people out there that could really use like something that you're doing because they don't know which way to go. Especially, yeah, we're signing up for all of these different dating websites. We're not getting, matched with the right people, and we're just like throwing in the towel. So
Oh,
happy that you're actually doing something like this. And
yeah. And that, not to cut you off, but I do want to say something because you just sparked something in me. Uh, I think people should also look at the apps that they're on to see if those are the right apps for them.
mhm.
There's so many apps out there. You should see let's say if Hinge isn't working for you, maybe Coffee Meets Bagel could work for you. It just depends. I don't think one app fits all. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's good to explore.
Okay. Now, are people still meeting in person outside of the app with COVID and that sort of thing?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I mean, I did meet someone in person, but that's because I knew the person before. This was pre-COVID. I had knew the person for 8 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And but to be honest with you, I mean, we really aren't meeting people right now in real life, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
it is right now one of the only avenues to do it. And I mean, you're really not going to meet anybody in a grocery store because we're all masked up.
Mhm.
I mean, it's good for me. I got great eyes. So I mean, like, But I mean, and you have amazing eyes too, so it will work for us. But you're only seeing a part of us now.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, but really, no. I mean, I do know someone who met in a park, but most people I know now are meeting online.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And so, what are some of the biggest like mistakes you see people make? You said so they're not checking to make sure that they're on the right app. What are some of the
Yeah.
mistakes people are making?
I did say so the pics with all the people in them. The obligatory gym selfie, which I in the mirror, I'm like, oh, stop that. Please stop that. Uh I'm not a fan. Oh, and I love children. I truly love children, but we don't need to see your children on the apps.
Mm,
It's for it's more for safety, actually, for the
yeah.
children, not even for you. It's for the children. I mean, because you don't know, there's a lot of crazy people out there. And so I look at it as, why would you put your child out there to be seen? And who knows, they might be looking at your child and not looking at you today.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, you can put it in the bio that you have kids and you love your kids and you have them 50% of the time. If we basically just say you have kids, it's okay to say that. But I've seen, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen on apps where every picture is of the kid.
Mm,
And I'm like, oh no,
yeah.
sir. No, I mean, and I've seen it where some of my clients too, women do it too. And women not so much as men, but they're not thinking of like a broader picture. And it's, once again, I'm just gonna go back. It's the safety of your kids. Bios, that's another one. Make sure your bios are good. I tell people this. Would you put that on your resume? That's always something I say to people when they're doing their apps and everything like that. Make sure, once again, we talked about questions. Make sure you put something that you like in there. Explain a little bit about yourself. Men, read the bios. I just put something up the other day and it was crazy to see. So it was a percentages of men and women of what they do, and I wasn't surprised. More men were heavily invested in the pics, which I wasn't surprised about. Women, but it wasn't like that big of a difference. Men, when it came to bios compared to women, it was 19.1% to women that were 32.3% that really thought about the bios.
Mm,
And I was like, that is
interesting.
such, everything else was like here and here. But
Mm-hmm.
I was, look at the bios. The bios will tell you so much about a person. Because the next time I hear a guy tell me that she was crazy, I can tell you there was something in her bio that told you that she was probably crazy.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So,
Wow.
and then the prompts. Now there's this thing on apps called prompts where they do extra questions that you can answer those questions. Say, they ask so many questions I can't even think right now, but answer those questions because it gives you more insight onto the person and to see if they are better suited for you.
Mm,
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean,
Interesting.
yeah. Oh, even Spotify, Bumble, I know does Spotify, connects to your Spotify. And I actually like that because then I can see if we like the same music. And I mean, I love all music, but some music I'm like, oh, if he's listening to like Slayer and
All the
Pantera
time.
all the time, I'm like, it's good for like one of those days, but not
Right.
all the time.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And so, as far as safety, I know a lot of men and women are concerned with like safety. What would you say we should watch out for as far as safety is concerned?
Safety is huge. Like I still like, especially for women, and this is one of the other reasons why I'm loving the apps more and more because they're becoming more and more integrated, tech, techno, technologically integrated. So now I'm a huge proponent after you're messaging back and forth, which I say I wouldn't go more than 72 hours to 96 hours without having a phone call. Because if it's going that, if you're going 3 to 4 days and you're still vibing with each other, then pick up the phone and call. But what I am saying now is on a lot of these apps, they have it now where it's integrated where you can make a phone call or you can do a video chat. So you don't even have to give out your phone number until after that, which I think is so much better too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but make sure you talk to each other before you even decide to go out. And because then you really get like the vibe and energy off a person to see if this is something you want to do. Because you could be texting great. All of a sudden you get on the phone, you have nothing to say. Well, you know what? You didn't have to go out and meet that person, especially now, because time is precious. Your time is precious. And we're also in a pandemic. And why not take that time to that 45 minutes? If it goes 45 minutes, you're probably going on a date, just to let you know.
Right,
But take
right.
a little bit of time on the phone to see if this is the person or video chat, which
Okay.
a lot of people are doing now too.
Yeah, yeah. What are you working on right now? So do you have a course that you put people through or
So it's funny you should say that. So I do one-on-ones with people, and then to reach a bigger audience. And then I know that sometimes people, especially in these times, finance can be a question, as to whether or not you're going to use my services. Well, I'm actually putting together a course, and it's going to teach you how to do the perfect online dating profile.
oh, awesome, awesome.
Yes.
I know
So that's
that's
going to be coming
amazing.
up very soon.
Awesome, awesome. And so is there anything else that we need to know about online dating?
um you know what I think everyone should do is enjoy it. I
Yeah.
don't think enough people enjoy online dating and have fun. I mean, I hear it from people, especially I have a group on Facebook. And I hear some people say, "Oh, I never meet anybody. Oh, did it?" And I say, "Well, how are you not meeting?" And I honestly had someone go, I said, "Well, what apps are you on?" He goes, "I'm not on any apps." I said, "Of course you're not meeting anybody. If you're not on any apps, how are you
Oh
meeting
my
people?"
God. Yeah,
So
yeah.
look into yourself and see how bad you really want to do this, because you can't be lazy about it. You got to put some kind of effort into online dating. Put some
Right.
effort in it and have fun. And also, I mean, and this is a safety precaution and it's not a scare tactic. If you're going to go out with someone, and I would say this, if you're going out with someone in real life, make sure somebody knows that you're going out with someone else, that especially if it's the first time y'all are meeting, because you
Hmm.
don't know, you know.
Right, right. Well, this interview is just way too short. We have to have you back on the show because I know people are
I
going to have
know it.
questions. I know people are going to have a lot of questions about dating and filling out that their dating profiles and everything. So I thank you so much for joining me on the podcast here today. And how can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can get in contact with me on my website. Sorry about that. I forgot about that for a minute. My website at www.nxtconnection.com. You can message me there, or you can go to my Instagram, which is NXT Connection over there. And I have some great um videos and like little learning tools I have up there. And that's when you can actually, that's where you're going to be able to find where I'm going to be start the course, which is going to happen in the next couple weeks.
Oh, awesome, awesome. All right. And so we hope to have you back on the show here very soon. Thank you so much for joining me
Thank
here
you.
today, Dorinda. It was a
Thank
lot
you
of
so much.
fun.
Oh my God, so much fun.